Yule chingones y chingonas, los tres chingones boxing. Total trucker here, man. What is going on, Pete Town, homie? Um, all right, man. So we're one man short right now. It looks like we're two men short. David will be coming on here real quick. Our boy Mikey is back from Dominican Republic, but hey, that vato, he came down with something, home. So, put a little prayers for that guy. Hang on. All right, that's better. Hey, man, let's go ahead and let's bring in El Gran Chingon, El Mero Mero One, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey, Ed, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, David. You know what? What's happening
Oh,
tomorrow, David, is
mm,
exactly why I love boxing. And we're definitely going to get to the big Mexican showdown, but there's so
mhm.
much other things to get into, man, before we get into that, David. Listo?
Listo, let's go, man. I just got back from Vegas, was over there all week, flew in last night. You flew in last night too, right?
I flew in yesterday during the day. Yeah. Yeah.
Where were you at, Ed?
I was trucking it from Atlanta to Denver, and I ran into some pretty bad weather, so it took me a little bit longer. There was
Really?
a tornado warning, man,
Uh-huh.
and it was blowing up the side of the trailer. I thought for a moment I was probably gonna flip over.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Oh,
it was it was
qué bueno, gracias a Dios that you made it okay.
yeah.
Listo. Let's talk about tomorrow night, man. It's gonna be a night of fireworks.
So we got Pete Town in here,
Hey,
Jesus
what's up, Pete
M.
Town? Jesus.
All right. Hey, first of all, David, let's just go ahead and just touch on this just for a quick second. Jake Paul
Mm.
comes out with the victory over Nate Diaz. It's one of those funny, funky fights, man. It turns some people off. I don't really mind it, man. What's your thoughts on that, David?
You know what? I was expecting a lot more from Nate Diaz.
Okay.
I was expecting a lot more. Sabes que the way Robert Garcia, the way a lot of people, a lot of trainers had been talking about him, I was expecting so much more. Pero sabes que I was disappointed, to be honest with you. I was very disappointed. I was expecting a lot more. You know
What,
what? That dude should just stick to cultivating, smoking his weed, and have a great life, man. I don't see a future in boxing for him. And hey, man, enjoy life. You know what I mean? Parece
were,
que está medio tocado el camarada too. You know, a little slow.
were you expecting him to win?
I was expecting him to give him a better fight.
Okay.
I was expecting for the way they Robert Garcia and everybody else described him, dude. I thought for sure he was gonna go in and move around better. I mean, he's an MMA fighter. He's not a boxer. You know what I mean? He's not a boxer. He probably has a lot of heart, pero no, no. Hey, what's going on, JC? Pero I was disappointed. Put it that way.
Okay.
I was expecting much more from him, Nate Diaz.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more from him as well. I thought he was gonna give him a really good
Yeah,
fight, but yeah, man. He, like I said, he's seen punch drunk already. The
yeah,
way como habla, the way he talks and everything. I'm just
yeah.
like, I don't know, man. The guy seems a little out of it. But hey, Jake Paul wins again, and he's gonna continue doing what he's doing. So for those that hate him, hey, Holmes, hate him even more because another victory. He's gonna keep doing what he's doing. For those that like what he's doing, there he is, man. He's gonna keep on
Hey, you know
rocking
what he's saying now that he's going to go in
the
the
octagon.
octagon with
Yeah.
him. If it's true, hey, my respect to the guy. You know what I mean? That's going to be good if it's true. If it's true.
He said, "Hey, what's up, D Style? Shouts to
Hey,
D
Dista,
Style,
what's
man.
going on? Enjoyed
I
your
was on
show
the
last night.
Yeah, I was on the round table with
Yeah,
them
I saw
last
that.
night.
That was
Yeah,
great.
you know, if Jake Paul does get into the octagon with Nate Diaz, Jake Paul said he's gonna need a whole year to train, so it's not gonna be anytime soon. But I would give him a little bit of a chance because in that year, I don't know what Nate Diaz is gonna be doing. Maybe he's already older, man. I don't know if he's gonna really
Yeah.
take it serious or what. But hey, nonetheless, let's move on. I just kind of wanted to touch on that just for a quick one. Pero with that, let's go ahead, man. We got just a lot going on tomorrow. David, across the pond, man, we have AJ, Anthony Joshua, getting back into the ring. He was supposed to be getting in there against Dillian White. That is not happening. Dillian White tested positive, man. There's a lot of, all that stuff is a big roller coaster. I don't really like to get into it. If you guys really want to find somebody who's passionate about all that stuff, go talk to Joe Habib, man, from Ringside Reporter. He will be passionate about all that subject. It was good times, man, good times. Pero what's your thoughts about Anthony Joshua getting in there against Robert Helenius, who just fought?
I'm excited. You know
Mm,
what? I'm more excited against Hellenius than the other bum that he was going to fight.
okay.
Alone, so amazing. I'm more excited about this, and I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be an excellent fight.
Yeah. He
Even though
just
I believe he's 40 years old now. I believe he's 40 years old, but still, you know what? For the guy to get a week notice to go in and fight, it's going
mm.
to be. I think it's going to be a good fight.
Well, Anthony Joshua is 39 years old.
Oh, is he
So
really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
gotten up there in age, I believe, man. So,
Uh,
and a lot of people have been saying that he's not the same guy, man, ever since the Andy Ruiz fight. David, do you think that took something out of him? I mean, he's had two losses after that with Alexander Usyk.
You know what? I think it did. I mean, I'm not saying Hellenius is going to knock him out. No, but I think it's going to be more of a competitive fight. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be a great fight, but it's more of a competitive fight because this guy, he's like 6'9" also, or 6'7", 6'8". So I think that this guy. I mean, we've seen him. He's not a great fighter, Hellenius, but you know what? At least he's gonna give him a fight. And that's something that you're absolutely right. I don't think that Joshua has been the same after Andy Reese. He's not the same.
AJ's
I think he
33.
lacks heart. He lacks heart. No tiene corazón, to fight.
Yeah. AJ's 33. You're right. Yeah, I
Oh,
got
okay.
that. I got that off. I was thinking about somebody else. Yeah, AJ's 33. Okay. Um, this late replacement, even though Hellenius just got out of the ring, so he doesn't even really need much of a training camp. With 1 week, I I think Hellenius, he got his fame pretty much by beating up on Babyface.
Konecki.
Yeah,
Yes.
Adam
Yeah.
Karnowski. Yeah, and who was really coming up. You had this fat, short, stubby
Mhm.
dude, and he was knocking dudes out, man. And Robert Helenius went in there and manhandled them twice.
Yes.
Before that, I never really heard of Robert Helenius, and I never heard anybody mention his name, the whole Viking, the Nordic Viking, and everything. Is he good? I don't think he's really that good. People are saying he took a dive against Deontay Wilder. I don't know if it's true or not. To me, it's right. It's not here nor there. Is he now? People are starting to say he's going to take a dive against Anthony Joshua. I don't see that. David, do you see that? Do you see
I
him getting
hope. You
paid
know
off
what?
twice?
I forgot that he fought Anthony Joshua, and I remember not that he fought
Deontay Wilder.
Wilder. I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah.
I remember I saw that. I mean, that wasn't even a great punch that he fell on. I
Okay.
forgot about that. And I'm glad you mentioned it. Um, I don't think so, man. I think at that level, I don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't
Mm,
see it. I mean, it
okay.
can, but I don't see it. I really don't.
If okay, now the Deontay Wilder one I could kind of understand that just a little bit for those that are saying like, hey, he got paid off. I could somewhat understand it because it was like that. Okay.
Yeah,
But how
and
much are
they,
you gonna have? How
yeah.
much are you gonna have to pay somebody off to get in there and mix it up a little bit, before you really get knocked out? I don't I'm not saying he got paid off against Deontay Wilder. I'm just gonna say I don't know. I don't know.
And you
Dale.
know what, Ed? I'm basing my opinion on those two fights against Babyface. Again, that's what I'm basing my opinion on those two fights. After that, I forgot about the Deontay Wilder fight. I mean, yeah, I forgot about that. So I'll take it back. I'm basing it on the two fights because I
Okay.
don't follow this guy's career. But when I saw that he stepped up for whatever reason, the only fight that came to mind was
Karnowski.
Babyface. That's
Yeah.
the only fight. But now that you guys are bringing it up, you mentioned it, JC mentioned it, other guys are mentioning it. Um, I just hope, man, that he practices what he preaches, man. He's a Viking. Go in there and try to knock him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're bringing it up right here, man. Shouts to everybody on here. Yeah, that Hellenius
Yeah.
was Wilder's sparring partner. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah,
All
but
right.
he's not Joshua's sparring partner, so I don't think
No.
he'll take a dive with Joshua. And not only that, David, but the word is that this is going to lead up to a Wilder versus Joshua fight, which I've always been wanting to see that fight for one
Yeah.
reason or another. I don't care if both guys are coming off of a loss. I've always wanted to see Joshua versus Wilder. So, I mean, Joshua has to win, but if he does not take care of Robert Helenius the way Deontay Wilder did, right, finger quotes, there's probably a little bit of pressure on him. But let's talk a little bit about pressure, David. Um, Errol Spence Jr. just got smoked by Terrence Crawford. Okay. Who was the trainer? Derek James. Derek James
Yes.
at one point, was looked at as, oh man, one of the greatest trainer of the year, right? Now
Yes.
he took on Anthony Joshua. Is there pressure on Derek James for this fight for Anthony Joshua to look good?
I think we think that there's pressure at that level. I don't think that guy even thinks about it. You know what I mean? To him, he has a mission to complete. He has a purpose. He has a mission to complete, and he's going to do his best to complete it. Now, if Joshua loses, hey, you know what? Because we know that Charlo's going to lose against Canelo, so that's 0-3. So I don't think that he personally feels it, but I think the fans are putting pressure. We're the aficionados are adding pressure to this. I don't think he personally feels it, but we believe that he is feeling it.
Okay. Okay. I look, how about this, David? How about this? Shout outs to Women Crushing Boxing. I believe her name's Christine. She was on the show last night over there on D Star on the roundtable, and she brought this up, David. The
Mhm.
fact that Derek James was over there spending all that time training Errol Spence. How much time did he really spend with Anthony Joshua, who's one of his newest fighters, by the way? So how much time was he really putting in the ring with Anthony Joshua? And is that going to affect? Because his main focus, at least in my opinion, was on Errol Spence. It's like, hey, this is the biggest fight right here. Errol Spence against Terrence Crawford. Anthony Joshua, like, yeah, okay, cool. I know you got a fight coming up, but I'm over here focused. David, we're not far removed from that fight, man. So how much time do you really spend with Anthony Joshua?
I think we're all speculating because we saw that Showtime special. And I mean, we're not there at that gym. You know what I mean? I think even that fighter yesterday that was on the show, she's speculating. She's assuming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's not there. I mean, he has Anthony Joshua. He has Ryan Garcia. Do you think Ryan Garcia left the Reynoso camp because they didn't give him attention? You know what I mean? So I think that we're all assuming, and that's one thing that I try never to do. When you try to start assuming, you make up things, or you want to believe that it happens. I think that he's giving them everybody their time, but I think just because we saw it on Showtime, that he was with them at 24 hours, I don't believe it. So I think he's giving them the right amount of time, and we're going to see tomorrow if it works or not. Listen, Jesus Christ could teach him how to box. That's not going to change that he doesn't have a heart. You know what I mean? I mean, Ryan Garcia, I mean, he could have the best coach in the world, but that's not going to change if the man doesn't have a heart. So it doesn't really matter if he gives them 100 hours or he gives them 20 hours. If the dude doesn't have a heart, I mean, how can you replace the heart?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
no, I got you. I never thought Anthony Joshua was that great of a boxer.
No, neither
He's
do
de-
I. No.
Yeah, no,
No.
I mean he's okay, and the heavyweight division isn't that strong. Going back, if we were like in the late 80s or in the 90s or anything like that, I don't
Exactly,
think
JC.
any of these dudes, with the
Yeah.
exception of Tyson Fury, I do think
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is an elite boxer for
Yeah.
heavyweight, but
He is.
all these
Yeah.
other guys, I don't think they are, man. Uh, that'd be good, Pete Town, if that happens, but We'll see what happens with that. Hey, and by the way, make no mistake about it for everybody. Across the pond, Anthony Joshua is a damn superstar. Make no doubt about that. I saw the weigh-ins today. They got tiers and levels full of people, man, hanging off the balcony, just taking footage. This guy has lost 3 times now. This dude is one heck of a superstar across the pond, man. So make no mistake about it. I said it a while back. If Joshua were to fight Alexander Usyk again, which is not going to happen, but if probably Joshua still gets the bigger payday out of that fight. Why? Because he's still a damn superstar. You can't shake his fan base, man. That weigh-in was pretty damn packed. And like I said, there was tears and everything. It was all packed, man, for Anthony Joshua, not for the Nordic Vikings. So, and by the way, it was kind of fun. Anthony Joshua telling Robert Helenius, "You all right, man? You all right? Cool down. You got a problem?" It was funny, man. It was entertaining. What's up, Puerto Rican Rum?
What's up, Puerto Rican Rum?
Two vatos sin huevos. Damn, JC
going there hard you go. On them, that's man. What I was trying to say, JC. You can't teach them that.
Riddick Bowe would have killed Joshua. Absolutely, Pete Town. Absolutely. We just got to deal with the heavyweights that we have today, but no way, shape, or form will I ever compare them to the guys in the 90s or even the early 2000s, man. But the 80s for sure. The only one I would say that does have a chance because the way he moves is Tyson Fury. But with that, I'll definitely be watching that. Also, Derek Chisora is fighting in that against Gerald Washington. For one reason or another, I want to watch that one too. Let me see. D-Style saying the Viking Warrior. I think he's going to put up a good fight. I do.
Hope so. I hope so.
I do. I don't think he wins. Yeah. I don't think he wins, but I think he puts up a decent fight. Joshua's not that good. He's very popular, but he's not that good, man. He's just not that good. And
it would be great if there was an upset, huh? It would be outstanding, man. You know what, Joshua has to retire, man.
No, it wouldn't be great. I want to see Joshua versus Wilder. I don't know why.
Wilder's gonna kill him. Wilder's gonna kill him.
Look, everybody make fun of me, Holmes. I'm obsessed with making this match happening. I don't know why. I've been wanting this fight to happen for years now. I don't care if they're both shot out, if they're both, I don't care if they have a match years from now, the way Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. did. I don't know. I just want to see these guys go at it. What's up, Dos Matador?
Hey, what's up, Dos Matador?
All right. Well, moving right along. Hey, listen, we do have a fight on Showtime. David, you want to go over that main event real quick, man, before we get to the real meat on the bone, which is going to be on ESPN?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Give me a quick second. ESPN Deportes.
Because this ESPN, man, is, my goodness, it's for free. And damn it, free PPV is exactly what I'm talking about, man. But we also have a fight on Showtime, which is good. I got it right here, David.
I just pulled it up.
Okay.
Melvin Lopez versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. Melvin Lopez, I believe he has one loss. I think he lost to Gary Antoine Russell. I believe that's his only loss.
Who's also predicting
this guy's, I believe, is a Puerto Riqueño. They're predicting that he is going to sweep the bantamweight. That when he fights Santiago, that's what they're predicting. This kid, Emmanuel Rodriguez, I didn't do a lot of research on him. I know that he hits like a mule, and they're saying that this is going to be a great fight. But they're predicting that Melvin Lopez is going to be one of the ones. I don't remember seeing him fight. What I've read about him prior to coming on the show, I read about him real quick. So that's what they're predicting. Gary Antoine Russell against Kent Cruz. Mm-hmm. Gary Antoine Russell, I've seen him fight. Good fighter. Junior welterweight. Fights at 140. Trevon Marshall. Gabriel Maestre. Don't know much about him. Marcus Brown versus Adrian Taylor. Don't know much. But Jose Benavides Jr. is fighting again. 8 rounds. Can't believe he's fighting 8 rounds against Saldan Jarhan. I'm going to watch. I'm going to have 2 TVs on because I like Gary Antoine Russell, Melvin Lopez, and they said something about Trayvon Marshall fights supposed to be a good fight. Don't know much about it, but I'll have two televisions on.
Yeah,
I'm more excited about ESPN. A lot more excited about the ESPN card.
Right, right. Hey, Puerto Rican Rum, I'm gonna go for Rodriguez as well. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know everything about him, man. But you know what? I've been hearing that this is a guy to watch, so I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out on him. I will definitely be watching this
Oh, really?
Showtime
Okay.
card. Yeah, I will be watching this Showtime card, man.
Yeah.
So, but let's get to the real meat on the bone, man. ESPN is doing it, and they're doing it well. Damn it, this is why I love boxing. Right now, we're gonna make our way to the main event, but let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the fights underneath that. Antonio Morales, who's a heavyweight, he's gonna be fighting in this. I first saw Antonio Morales, I believe, when he was just 4 fights in, and he kind of impressed me a little bit. He's a tall dude. They got him in there fighting against some big fat mofo. I'm like, wow, but people were telling me that Antonio Morales is, oh man, he's got skills. He got skills. I'm not saying he doesn't have skills, but man, they're going to have to move very, very slow with this guy, David, because he has gotten knocked down. I see a lot of holes in his game. He's not like some of these other heavyweights that I see coming up, man. Have you checked out Antonio Morales?
You know what? I actually met him, and I took my grandchildren to the Robert Garcia gym probably about a year ago when Virgil Ortiz was there. This kid, I call him a kid because, I mean, I'm 63 years old. And he's probably maybe 23, 24 years old. He's from, I believe, Iowa.
He's from Iowa.
But Iowa, right? The guy's 6'9", and he's a big boy. And I saw his last fight. I saw when he went down. But you know what? The guy has heart. Would he be a champion? I don't know. But you know what? He's with the right trainer. And he's been with Robert for at least 2 years. He lives there at the camp house. The guy wants it. And you know what? There's no better trainer than Robert Garcia. He's one of the greater trainers. So, I think because of his last fight, he fought a guy. I don't remember who he fought, but I remember it was a good fight. And the dude was big also. And he went down, but he got back up. Maybe they're giving him this chubby guy just to get him back up again, but I believe he's undefeated. I don't think he has a loss. I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, when I took my grandchildren to the gym, he was a gentleman, man. He got down to on his knees to talk to them. Very nice kid, and I believe in him because I believe in his coach, Robert Garcia, and I think Robert can teach him. And he's a Chicano, and he's 6'9".
Yeah, not too many Chicanos, man. Not too much raza get that high in height. So
hey, Jesus is saying that Callaway Tough has power. I guess El Panzón has power.
You know what, David? You were being very nice when you called him chubby just a little earlier. Because
he's a panzón.
Chubby. That dude is fat, Holmes. He is
he?
Fat.
All
man.
right.
Fat. Hey, but you know what? It's heavyweights, man. We've seen fat dudes. Look, Andy Ruiz. We've seen fat dudes go in there and swing them. So,
dude, Andy Ruiz is weighing 210 pounds right now.
Oh wow. Okay,
that's what he's saying. 210 pounds.
Oh man, some of those pounds are the ink that he put on his nalgas, man. So I'm gonna be rooting. Definitely, I want Antonio Morales to do good, man. That would be badass. I hope, but sabes que, David, they gotta be very cautious with this guy. He is not some guy that is coming in and lighting it up, man. Unlike the next one that I want to talk about right here. Kiki Torres Jr., Richard Torres Jr., man, against Willie Jake Jr. in a 6-round heavyweight fight. Now, Richard Torres, that's one that you could kind of speed up a little bit. Don't make him bite too much that he can't chew, but you don't have to be too cautious. This guy, I love this dude, man. This dude is from the Central Valley. He goes in there to fight. I see the skills in him. A guy looks like a young version of Ron Jeremy or some 70s porn star, whatever. But man, he's loving it. He gets there. I was watching the ESPN thing that they had. He arrives there to the hotel. It's 102 degrees at nighttime, David, and he's out there running. He's working out. He's shadow boxing. man, Richard Torres Jr. is a real one, Holmes. I really like
Mhm.
this guy, and I definitely am going to watch this fight. What's your thoughts on Richard Torres Jr.?
You know what? And he's running because he doesn't have to make weight. I mean, he could weigh 300 pounds and he's okay, but it shows
Yeah.
you that he's the athlete. I saw him during the Olympics. I liked him at the Olympics. I think they should have put this other guy against him. If he does have, I think somebody just mentioned that Callaway has power. I
Mm.
want to see them bring him up, and I'd love to see him eventually fight that babyface Anderson. I think
Oh,
that would be
the
great.
real big baby Anderson.
The real big baby Anderson. I would love to see him work his way up. I think that would be a great fight in the future.
Mm.
But they got to start bringing him higher level fighters because we want to see what he's made out of in the professional world. We saw him in the Olympics, and I believe that he got silver in the Olympics. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe he got silver. But he was going up against these huge Russians. I
Mm.
mean, he did very well in the Olympics. So let's start bringing him some better fighters so we could see him gain more experience. And let's start putting him in, getting him ready.
Yeah, he's good. He's got a good amateur background. I like watching him fight. I think they need to keep him a little bit more active. He's fighting in a 6 rounder, which is good. That's fine. I want them to bring him up to 8 rounds pretty damn soon. Hopefully, at the end of this year, he could fight in an 8 rounder. I'd like to see that. He's not one that you really got to coddle and baby too much. You can start putting him in there a little bit because if he's getting in there, look, if he's getting in there and just smoking dudes in the first or second
And he's
round,
doing that. That's what he's doing. Yeah.
that's I don't really know how much he's really learning, David.
Hey,
What
Pomona Soul Sounds just said that this guy Callaway weighs 365.
okay, that right, but that's the one who's fighting Antonio Morales.
Mireles.
Yeah,
I know Mireles.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
365. I didn't see
I
the weigh in. That's why I just read it and I'm like, wow.
yeah,
He's huge.
yeah.
Pero está chaparro, he's like 6'5", 6'6".
That's why when you said chubby, David, I was just like, oh, okay, David might as well call him Flaco.
I didn't see the weigh-ins. I'm going by what you're telling me. Wow. Hey, Pastor, how you doing?
How you doing,
Yeah.
Pastor Zamora?
Yeah.
Let me see. Jose Benavides Jr. What could have been? Yeah, what could have been?
What could have been?
What could have been, man?
Exactly. Yeah.
You want, hey, man, you play, you pay, Holmes. But yeah, look, Richard Torres Jr. definitely want to keep an eye out, and I do think that he can be champion, especially with a heavyweight division, the landscape where it's at right now. Man, he's one of the top dogs, man. Well, he's leading up to being one of the top dogs. I'm
I
not gonna
hope
say,
so, man. I
yeah,
really do. I
yeah,
hope so. We need a good Chicano world champion again. A true Chicano that will make us proud. This guy has discipline.
hey,
He's not like Andy Reese.
that's what I was going to bring up. Before we move on, David, what's your thoughts on Andy Ruiz today? Today.
I don't know. I mean, I read somewhere and I saw that he's at 210 right now.
Mm.
I mean, the guy needs, I don't know, man. The guy needs money. The guy needs money. If he's going to stick to boxing, he needs to take it serious. Stop partying. Stop partying, man. Take it serious. You can't play boxing. He's was going to fight Wilder. Now I hear that he's basically pricing himself out. I mean, he's pricing himself out. He's not that famous anymore. You know what I mean? And at 210, if it's really true that he's at 210, dude, I mean, fighting Wilder at 210, Wilder will come in at 256, 260 at 210. I don't care how fast he is. There's reason why. I mean, he was great at 260 when he fought AJ the first time. The second time, I believe, he came at 285. He was too big. At 210, I don't think he's going to have that punch. And I think that if he's going to stick to it, take it serious. If not, retire.
You know what, JC? You make a very, very good point, man. AJ versus Ruiz. changed both of their lives, changed
Yes,
both of their
that's
careers,
right.
both of them.
Both of them,
One,
not just one.
it took
Yeah.
something away from both. One, it
Mhm.
took away, what AJ used to be, the uprising star, man. For Ruiz, it took away the hunger. He
Mhm.
lost the eye of the tiger, man. That was it. He got that big payday, and it's sad, man, because there's been two. There's been Chris Arreola, who a lot of people were getting behind, and same thing. He liked to party and eat and not too disciplined. And look what happened. Then you got Andy Ruiz, and looked like he was going to be really good, and look what happened with him. So so these other guys, man, I'm really rooting for them. I'm really rooting for them. Yeah, Pete Town, I got it on in the background, man. Whenever I have a chance to look up, Ruiz struggled with Areola. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with these other two cats. Hey, you know what, David? One of the Vargas kids is fighting.
Yes,
Um,
Emiliano.
Emiliano Vargas.
Mhm.
He is stepping in there. I saw the weigh-in, man. Hey,
Mhm.
I gotta tell you, this Emiliano Vargas, man, this guy is such a pretty boy. I mean,
Mhm.
this dude, I don't know if you've seen him, David, como
Yeah.
se peina, everything.
Mhm.
He's just the way he smiles. I'm like, hey, Holmes, why you should be like a model. This dude is such a straight, pretty boy, and he's getting in there against Jorge Marquez in a 4-round fight. I don't really know. I don't really know too much about Jorge Marquez, but he was pretty amped up at the weigh-ins. Marquez was pretty pumped up, man. He really wanted, to let Vargas like give him a piece of his mind, man. He was talking masa to him. He just does not like Emiliano with his nice little pretty smile and everything like that, man. What's your thoughts on this?
You know what? He also, like JC says, he's got skills.
Yeah.
Out of the three brothers, there's a
Mhm.
reason why Top Rank only picked one. You know what I mean? There's a
Mhm.
reason why Top Rank is basically promoting him. The other two are being promoted by that gentleman, the pastor. What's his name? Marvin Promotions.
Yeah.
He's yeah, and I believe that their manager is Lomachenko's manager.
Okay.
That Russian guy, he's
Uh,
managing them, but este otro Marvin Promotions, but there's a reason is promoting the other two. There's a reason why they're promoting. They're saying out of the three, this is the kid that's going to be the next Oscar de la Hoya, the next not be better than Fernando Vargas, but that's what they're basically predicting. They say that he's very disciplined. What I've read about him compared
uh-huh.
to the other brothers, I'm not saying they're not disciplined, but I'm just saying that everybody's eyes on El General. And you know
Mhm.
what? I like that this other little chaparro is really, acting real chingon and wanting to, puff up his chest and throwing his arms and yelling at him because it's selling the fight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's selling the fight. And you know what? People want to see that because we know what's probably going to happen. And I hope it's a good fight. I hope this kid gives him a good fight. But there's no doubt at all that this El General, he's the future of boxing. He's our Chicano future of boxing. That's what everybody is saying.
You know, I I hope so.
Me
I
too.
hope
Me
so.
too.
I
We
I, I
need
hope so.
somebody.
Now
Yeah.
now Oscar de la Hoya has done something that I've never seen ever before in boxing. And you know, I don't know, maybe way, way back in the day in the 40s or 20s or 30s or whatever, maybe it did happen. But from as far as I've ever seen, I've seen Oscar do something that I've never seen before. And that is a bunch of hyenas going to a boxing match. I'm not talking about, oh, they're going with their dudes, they're going with their vatos or anything like that. Nah, I'm talking about a bunch of hyenas, a bunch of girls getting together, acting like they're going to go out to a nightclub, dressing up all sexy, and man, being about like 20-25% of the audience in the whole arena. I've never seen a fighter do something like that brought that kind of attention in. Um, yeah, I've seen, there's fighters where, some girls do kind of follow the guy or whatever like that, but never have I seen like an outpour of, 30-25% of the stadium is a bunch of single girls that just got together for a girls' night out. And what they're going to do is they're going to go watch Oscar de la Hoya fight. this guy can do that. He can do that, and I do like watching him fight. It's only a 4 rounder. Pete Town, I think, was saying that he's 20-0. I don't know why he's
No.
involved.
Who
That
who the Chaparros 20-0?
Yeah,
Marquez?
yeah.
It could be. It could be.
That's why would he be involved in a 4 round fight? I don't know, man. But apparently, it just seems like they're just feeding them to the Vargas kid. But yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on. I was hoping Emiliano would be replacement for Raymond Morataya.
Jesus, let me ask Jesus a question. Jesus, so Murataya's not fighting after all?
Yeah,
Because I have him on the schedule. He's not fighting Ed
I
Murataya?
did not.
They
He was
canceled him?
not in the weigh-ins, David. He was not in the
Really?
weigh-ins. Yeah, no. I think they
I,
they got another co-main event with Delgado. So
really? So I
yeah.
wonder what happened. If somebody could tell us, type it in real quick. Tell us what happened to Murataya. I was looking forward to seeing Raven Murataya.
Mhm.
That's my other guy, that I got my money on. And what I mean by money, I mean I got my heart in him because I
Mhm.
mean that's the guy that I'm hoping is going to be representing us in the near future. So he's
Yeah,
not the
somebody could let
fighting.
us know what happened
Yeah,
to
please let us
Morataya.
know. There's a card zone
Let
tonight.
me
All right.
see. There's
Yeah.
Puerto Rican rum. I got it on in the background right now. Lupe Contreras is the ring announcer. Um, yeah, I'm not sure, David. I didn't really read up.
Oh, Mesa saying he got hurt.
Oh, he got hurt.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah,
why Lindolfo's coming in. Okay.
I didn't get a chance
Yeah.
to read up on that, but when I watched the weigh-ins today, I just didn't see them, and I'm like, oh, they must have scratched that. So, but
Interesting.
well, with that, man, hey, hopefully Vargas can pull out not only a win, but I want him to really show up and show out, man. I want him to put on a show. So, with
Hey,
that,
Ed,
let's go ahead.
Ed,
Let's
do
move
you
in.
think he's going to be the next Oscar that's going to bring all the girls in? Hey, Ryan
He,
Garcia is bringing in a lot of girls. I mean, a
who?
lot of those girls. I mean, he's repeating what Oscar did in the '90s, don't you think?
In a way, he kind of it. He still his stardom isn't there yet. See, Oscar was fighting pay-per-view, and when you look around, David, it was. I'm making
Oh,
up
I
a number.
remember. I remember. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
going to the
I'm just
fights,
making up a
watching the
number,
fight.
but I
Yeah,
saw like 30% of the stadium, just a bunch of hyenas, getting together. They're going out for a girls' night out to go watch Oscar fight in a boxing match. I've never seen anything like that ever before. I've
JC,
seen, yeah, I've seen girls too that are
JC
boxing
saying,
fans.
JC saying, Ryan bringing in all the jotitos. JC, hey, you know who has star power with the chicks?
Uh,
Pitbull Cruz. That vato's a good looking dude. GQ.
uh, See, I was thinking somebody
JC,
probably like Brandon
jotitos.
Figueroa was gonna do something like that. But again,
Yeah.
you gotta be that fighter. You gotta
Oh,
be
yeah, man.
able
Yes,
to
he is.
perform in the ring, which Oscar was doing. So,
Yeah.
Vargas can do that, man. I've never seen a fighter outside of Oscar de la Hoya do something like that. Like, wow, man, that was crazy. But and he's still, in my opinion, the only one who's been able to do it. I don't know. Maybe somebody did do it many, 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 many years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's move on to the co-main event.
Yeah.
140 pounds, man. Lindolfo Delgado, 17 and
Mm.
0. David, he's going up against Valtierra. What do you make about this fight? Lindolfo, he doesn't really get mentioned when people talk about 140 pounds. I've never heard anybody mention his name. He's undefeated. He's 17 and 0. When you talk about 140 pounds, there's quite a few names that you talk about. He's not one of them. What do you make about this guy?
That's another young man that I've been following for the past, I believe, 3 years. He fights for Robert Garcia. And that's another one that he's been not holding back, but for whatever reason, nobody was picking him up. But he did it. He fought a lot in Mexico. He's fought in a lot of undercards here that were not televised. Rindolfo's a very good fighter. There's a reason why he's 17 and 0. World champion, I don't see it yet. I see Murataya, but I don't see it with Lindolfo. But I think Lindolfo is going to surprise us. Robert Garcia has another kid. His name is Misael. I'm trying to remember his last name. He's a former Olympian from Mexico. That's another one that he's really bringing up. Hopefully, this is going to be better opposition for Lindolfo, but I like Lindolfo. He's a good fighter. He has Robert Garcia style. He fights very well, goes in with the jab. What I saw in one of his last fights, goes in with the jab, hard right. I think it's going to be I don't know his opponent, but I'm glad they're bringing Lindolfo up and they're going to showcase him. Hopefully, America would like to see him again.
I'm glad too, David, because like I said, I never hear of this guy's name. We talk 140 pounds pretty often. I've never heard anybody mention his name. So, hey man, look, the spotlight's on you, Delgado.
Yeah,
you got to use it.
Out of the park.
You may not get the spotlight again. So when you get the spotlight, man, you got to go in there and not just win, but win decisively, put on a show, man, and show that, hey, orale, homie, I'm right here. Now I'm 18-0 at 140 pounds. Everybody's over here talking about Tio Lopez. Everyone's talking about, is Devin Haney here now? Everyone's talking about Regis Prograis. Everybody's been talking about Josh Taylor, been talking about all these guys. Hey, here I am. But you got to show that out tomorrow. You're in the co-main event, so this is your time to get that shine, huh? So,
hey, and don't get me wrong when I say that because he's with Robert Garcia. I mean, Giovanni Santillan, his last fight, he's been training with Robert Garcia from San Diego. I like this kid, but you know what? I was a little disappointed how he fought. Once again, he was on that big card, big limelight. So I hope Lindolfo really comes in, gets a knockout, and I hope people want to see him to come back because at 17-0, he deserves a chance to continue fighting on television.
Okay. All right. And hopefully I'm not a fan of his and I'm not a fan of his. Tomorrow is going to see. I'm going to see if I become a fan of his or not a fan of his. So with that, let's go ahead and let's get to the Mexican Showdown, man. Wow. This is what I'm talking about. Let me bring this up just real quick, man. Here we go.
You always need a dancing partner inside the ring. And I feel this could be the fight.
Quiero como que repetir esa parte, esa hazaña, esa rivalidad entre mexicanos como la que siempre se ha hablado, ¿no? De la rivalidad entre estar la pelea que todos quieren, ¿no? Una pelea sanguinaria, una pelea estilo mexicano.
The days, the weeks, the months, all fueling a fire that can only be put out.
Mano a mano.
Trading punch
for punch.
Till one man has his hand held high in triumph.
And the other hangs his head in defeat.
After all,
there can only be one true champion.
Man, I'm telling you, David, I am pumped for this. For those who don't know, man, that was Chewy in there, man. That was the man Chewy. But David,
who was the other dude? Who was the other dude with a little mustache?
He's an actor too. He's been on a few things. He was on Breaking Bad. He was on Down for Life. He's an actor. He's been around.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. Not as much as Chewy, but hey, man, look. This is what I'm talking about. Now, Barrera and Morales are set to be there, David, because they're somewhat trying to make some sort of comparison of like, hey, man, the Warriors, right? The Warriors that we knew once upon a time and Barrera and Morales, this is probably going to live up to it. Whether it does or doesn't, I'm not really sure. But, David, talk to us a little bit about this fight, man.
You know what? I had said it before on past episodes. This is Barrera Morales. Okay. Before all this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, I see Navarrete as Morales, and I see Valdez as Barrera. You know, I'm not saying that they fight identically the same. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, I mean, the styles, the heart. It's going to be a great fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. And they're actually predicting that if it's a great fight, it's probably going to become a trilogy. And if it is a trilogy, ¿sabes qué? More power to it, man. We need to see a good trilogy between two Mexicanos. And, man, I am looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great fight. I can't wait. Everybody
on here, all the chingones and chingonas, man, what was the last good or even great trilogy? Because I can't really think of one. Yes, I'm not talking about what was the last trilogy. I'm talking about what was the last good or great trilogy. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder is not a good trilogy. That's not. It's one sided. I'm talking about a great trilogy. What was the last one? Because I got to go pretty far back, man. I was on the round table yesterday, and I predicted Valdez, but I said I could. To me, it's like a teeter totter. It goes back and forth. After going through this day, thinking about this, David, I'm not only am I siding with Valdez, now I'm siding with Valdez even more.
Why is that? Why is that?
You know what, man? Navarrete, he's a warrior. He's a gladiator, no doubt about it. Pero Valdez has more skills, man. He's much more skilled. I don't know if I should say much more skillful, but he definitely has more skills in his arsenal. I like his footwork better. I like his counter punching better. I like his power better. And Navarrete, all I can really say about him is that the Vato's a straight dog. He's an animal. He's a warrior. But there's nothing really that I look at Navarrete and say, like, hey, you know what? This guy is elite, or at least really good in this area. He's a pretty decent, well-rounded fighter. But more than anything, he's just got corazon, and that goes a long way. Don't get me wrong. However, Valdez, he's got corazon, but he's got just more boxing skills to me. So I'm going Valdez, possibly. And yesterday on the roundtable, I said it goes to decision for the WBO strap. Now I'm thinking he probably stops him, David. I'm not sure. How say you, man?
You know what, man? I don't see it. I don't see him stopping him.
Okay.
I mean, Valdez against Adam Lopez, he didn't look good. Adam Lopez was going through his defense. I mean, Adam Lopez was hitting him hard. And the cards gave it all to Valdez. I didn't see that. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson obviously beat him. But another fight that I had him losing, and they gave him a gift was against Robson Conciaco. Conciacao.
Yeah.
Robson, dude, he lost that fight, but they gave him that fight. You remember that fight?
I don't know if he lost that fight. That's when he tested positive. I don't know if he lost that fight.
Well, to me, it wasn't a robbery. To me, it could have been. It could have been. When I say he lost it, I had him losing by 1 round, and it could. I mean, I was okay. I think even the judges were somewhat fair on that one. They didn't go overboard. Unanimous decision. Matter of fact, right here. Actually, no, I'm lying. It was unanimous decision. I didn't see it. I didn't see it as unanimous decision. Consequel fought him very well. You know, now if he comes in looking like when he fought Miguel Berchel,
yeah,
I'm there. If he comes in like that, when he fought Robson Consequel, yes, he had all that he tested negative, so he went in to try to prove something. Shakur Stevenson, there's no way he was going to beat him. Adam Lopez, his defense was terrible. He got hit a lot at that fight. Got hit too much on that fight. You know, I don't see a knockout. I see maybe a split decision, or I don't see a knockout either way. I don't see a knockout.
Oh, okay.
The only reason why is because of his last 2 performances. I mean, against Berchel, if Oscar comes in like he fought Berchel, easy night. It's going to be a good fight. But I don't think he's going to come in because he only had 1 showing like that. The other ones haven't been that great. Think about him.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Valdez. What about Navarrete? Navarrete didn't look good in his last fight. Not only did he not look good, David, he actually got dropped. And
he did.
It looked like he was even going to lose the fight. So how about that from his angle? He didn't look good either, man.
He didn't look good. I like the way he fought, and I see Joet Gonzalez. You can't compare him to Valdez. I'm not comparing him. But Joet Gonzalez is a great boxer. I mean, he's a good boxer. He just doesn't have that knockout punch. But Joed Gonzalez is a good fighter. And you know what? He beat Joed Gonzalez. And Ruben Villa, another one. I mean, Ruben Villa is a good fighter. I mean, you look at some of his fights. I'm looking at his fights as we're talking. Liam Wilson, I had never heard of Liam Wilson when he fought for the championship, but he had just gone up from 126. I believe that was his first fight at 130, and it was for a championship fight. I mean, either way, like I said, but I do not see Valdez knocking him out. I think that from round one, the fans are going to be winning because it's going to be a great fight. I think that it's going to be Morales Barrera. I think they're going to really take it to the next level.
Lito Navarrete has a funky style, throws punches from all angles, ugly style, but Rocky. Look, Navarrete does have, a kind of awkward, funky style. I'm not going to compare him to Maidana, but, he's a warrior, man. He brings it. And by the way, Pastor Zamora, when I was bringing up the trilogies, he brought up Marquez Pacquiao. Yeah.
That was 4 fights, wasn't it?
That was actually 4 fights. Yeah. That was actually 4 fights. Yeah. But these guys, when people were talking about Spence and Crawford, like, oh, man, this could be a trilogy. I'm like, really, man? Crawford is about to be 36, and these guys don't really ever fight. So with these guys, Navarrete is 28 and Valdez is 30. So, yeah, there could be a trilogy here. I
hope so. I hope it's such a great fight that I want to see a trilogy. Dude, when you were talking about trilogies, I couldn't even tell you where I was at. I was living in Chula Vista. I couldn't even tell you all 3 fights of Barrera Morales. I mean, those were, to me, that's the best one to me that I experienced. I didn't go to the fights. I could tell you where I was watching them, what I was doing, what I was thinking. I mean, what a trilogy. I would love for this to turn into that.
Mesa gas Navarrete, man. Okay. All right. David, you haven't even given me your pick because I'm going Valdez. I don't have anything against Navarrete. I like both of these guys, man. I love El Vaquero. He shows his heart, man. The guy's a true warrior. I just don't see the skills for that he possesses for him to beat Valdez. I'm not questioning his heart. He definitely has the heart. He definitely has the guerrero in him. That he definitely has the no quit. Maybe he doesn't knock him out, right? Maybe it's a TKO. Maybe the referee stops it. I'm not really sure. I don't see Vaquero, going down and not getting back up because this dude gets back up, man. So I am no way whatsoever, shape or form throwing any shade on Navarrete El Vaquero, dog. This guy is as real as it comes. I'm just talking about when it comes to skills, footwork, angles, it's Valdez, man. And Valdez got power. And Navarrete leaves himself pretty open pretty often, man. And I think Valdez is going to catch him.
If he comes in like when he fought Berchel, sabes que and I'll find out. We'll see it in the first 2 to 3 round, first round. I mean, Valdez was so focused. But yet when he fought Adam Lopez, it was a different Valdez. When he fought Rob Conceição, it was a different Valdez. But against Berchel, I mean, Valdez was focused, man, in that fight. So I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping he really comes in and does something. But I don't think so, man. I'm with JC. I'm leaning Navarrete. I'm by split decision.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see a knockout in this one. I see maybe stopping the fight because Navarrete catching him because Valdez isn't going to go down. Valdez is going to maybe break the what do you call it, jaw again. Valdez is not going to stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's already had a broken jaw. Valdez is not going to stop, man. Maybe throwing in and I see Reynoso maybe throwing in the towel. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a great fight. Or it could be a tie too. There could be a tie too.
A draw, yeah.
A draw.
Hey, Puerto Rican rum, yeah. I've never heard of OTX. I see it in the background on the zone. Wow, that is one big fat referee, man. Son of a gun. I've never heard of OTX on the zone, but yeah, it's there plastered.
Hey, did you renew your subscription to the zone?
it automatically renewed.
Oh, not me, bro. I go, you know what? No, man, no, I didn't do it. And my last fight was a championship fight, and ever since then, no ha habido nada. All these fighters from the UK I've never heard of. So no,
Yeah,
I
they
didn't. I
got
didn't renew mine. No, I'm not gonna give
they,
them
they,
mine.
the zone definitely has to start doing a little bit more American based fights, man.
Yeah.
Oscar, you need to start really showing up and doing your thing. Look, when you brought up Adam Nose Lopez, that was the second time Valdez had fought him. It was a
Yeah.
good fight. I thought he looked good, David. I mean, it was a brawl. It was a really, really good fight. I didn't expect him
It was a
to
brawl.
dominate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to dominate Blue Nose Lopez, man. With his freaking Sideshow Bob haircut. I thought, to me, I was like, okay, Valdez pretty much got dominated by Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So to me, I was just like, okay, he's a fight Blue Nose Lopez, and I gotta see if he still got that Guerrero in him or if he lost it. If
But you know what,
he's
Ed? He never got hurt by Shakur Stevenson.
no,
I
you
mean, he
okay?
never got. I mean,
No,
he
but he
just
got
got
schooled
beat.
though. Okay,
Yeah,
but
he
David,
got schooled. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the ego got hurt.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
got damaged. The pride. You're right. Maybe physically he didn't really get hurt, but in
Yeah.
here, I mean, that's scarring, man. You know, you got taken to school, man. Somebody just schooled you, made it look. I don't want to exaggerate and make it seem like Shakur made it look super easy, but nonetheless, man, you're an elite fighter, Valdez, and you look like you got taken to school, huh? So I wanted to see if he still had that Guerrero in him, if maybe that kind of, if he's a little aguitado and he's just kind of like, you know what, man, whatever now, I'm just doing it just for Feria and that's it, And we got in there against Blue Nose Lopez and they were going back and forth in a good, exciting fight. I was just like, okay, good. He did not turn in to Rocky Balboa from Rocky Part 3 after he loses to Clubber Lang. He still got, fight in him. So I don't think that's good. Now Valdez, man.
You know what, Ed? I like Valdez. I like Valdez better than I like Navarrete personally. I like his fights. His fights are exciting, but I just don't see him beating Navarrete this time. I don't see him knocking him out. And if he does, hey, more power. I want him to win, but I just don't see it. But I want him to win, but I don't see it.
I agree with you, Caesar. Pure boxers give Valdez problems. Yeah, and Shakur is a pure boxer. Valdez is actually a pretty good boxer. Yeah. And, he's also a brawler as well. Where Navarrete, to me, David, he's a heck of a lot more of a brawler.
He's awkward.
So you got Navarrete, David?
I got Navarrete, split decision, or maybe TKO, throw in the towel.
All right, everybody,
man. I don't see a knockout that Valdez goes out. I don't see that. No.
All right, everybody. Number 1 for Navarrete, number 2 for Valdez. Who do you guys got? Number 1 for Navarrete, number 2 for Valdez. David, what is the chances that we see a draw tomorrow, brother?
Oh, you know what? Pretty high. I see that, and I would love to see a draw because then I want to see the second fight. I would love to see a draw. That would be, to me, that'd be great. A draw.
Is this, in your opinion, before the fight even happens, is this gonna live up to somewhere around the territory of Barrera Morales?
I hope so.
Okay.
And I think so. I mean, you got two Mexicanos. You know what I mean? I mean, these vatos have huevos. These vatos have corazón. Dude, these dudes, I mean, they're the real deal. So yes, I think so. I think so.
Okay. Hey, Puerto Rican rum. I know that's a little weird. I've never heard of OTX, man. All right, we got coming in with Navarrete. Man, nobody's going for Valdez. Where the all Valdez guys at, man? That's wow. Okay. All right. Look, if Navarrete wins, I will come on here and I'll stand corrected, man. But
no, brother, you know what? We win because it's gonna be a great fight, man.
Look. I'm not gonna put this out there. I'm just gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little more too one-sided for Valdez that there doesn't need to be a rematch.
I hope not, man, because I want to see a rematch, man. Because I mean, these
I
vatos are gonna go in de todo corazón, brother. I mean, those are the fights that we live for. You know what I mean? Us
hey,
Mexicanos, us Chicanos.
hey,
I want to see a rematch.
hey,
I hope
carnal,
it's that fight.
I'm not questioning the corazon. I'm not
Yeah.
questioning anything like that. I'm just simply saying I think Valdez is going to start dancing circles around him, picking him off, and possibly finishing him off, even if it's TKO.
And look
But
at this Chino just said right there, Navarrete with knockout. Put it up. It's a Chino. Those that know how to read Chino. I'll read it. Navarrete by knockout or by split decision.
hey,
It's
Pastor
Chino.
Tony, you should go to the fight. It's over there in Arizona, man. Let me see. Valdez, second place. Ah, well, we will see tomorrow. This fights like this is why I love boxing.
Yeah, me too.
However, I've been pumped up since this fight was made. But as we get closer and closer and closer to the fight, David, the
Mhm,
more I'm thinking is going to be a one-sided fight. Not completely. Not
mhm.
completely. I don't want anybody to mistake what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Valdez is going there and school him, but I think it's gonna be at the end of the fight, even if it goes all 12 rounds, I think it's gonna be pretty damn clear that Valdez won the fight and we don't need to see a rematch.
Ed. A lot of people probably gonna disagree with me. Valdez, why did he leave Robles? Why did he go to Reynoso? You know
Mm,
what I mean? I mean, that when he did that, I was a little pissed off because I believe in loyalty. You know what I mean? I mean, I
mm,
believe in loyalty. For him to do what he did to Robles, Manny Robles, he made him. And to go, he hasn't been the same. The only good fight that he showed me that he looked great, the first one was with Reynoso, was against Berchel. But other than that, I don't see it. And I'm not holding it against him, but he hasn't been the same since he left Robles. He should have stayed with Robles. Should have stayed. In
okay.
my world, loyalty means everything. In my world,
JC's with you on that, man. Well,
yeah, he's
hey,
military, definitely.
hopefully it's a good fight. Hopefully I'm wrong, man. I want to see a fight that's very, very close. If somebody wins, I hope it's in a split decision or a draw because I do want to see these guys go back at it again. I
Yeah,
think this does have the caliber to be somewhere around, Gotti versus Ward, Barrera versus Morales. I think it's badass that both Barrera and Morales are going to be there in attendance. They've been there. They were there at the weigh-ins. They've been showing their face. So, Valdez and Navarrete, they cannot go show up and drop a complete dud, Holmes. They can't because this is being built up, man. And I don't think they will. It's not in their character to do that. So, but with that, David, anything else, brother, before we call it?
no, you know what? This next Tuesday on the Gray Line at 6 o'clock, we're going to have Devin Hawks, a former SSU agent. The guy's a legend with the Department of Corrections. He's going to talk about the Aryan Brotherhood. There was a guy by the name of Wendell Blue Norris. He was the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood. And this is how much this guy believed in the Aryan Brotherhood, ABs, also known as,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
they believed that he was ratting on the group at the end of his career in prison gangs. He never did rat, but because he thought that his brothers believed in him, he went into the yarda at a state prison here in California, got a filero, and just like the old Vikings, got on his knees and put it in his heart and died. And so he's going to talk about that. He's also going to be talking about, I don't know how many of you remember, it happened many years ago. There's a certain type of dogs that are huge dogs. This dog basically turned on its owner. She was an attorney for the Aryan Brotherhood and ate her up, literally ate her to pieces. And the Aryan Brotherhood was responsible for that. So he's going to talk about that too. It's going to be a great episode. So Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the story of Wendell Blue Norris and also the dog mauling in San Francisco. Watch it. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be a great show. Prison
And
gang
for,
show.
and for those that are interested, I'm dropping the link to that
Oh, thank you. Gracias.
right now. That's the link to David's channel, man. If you guys are interested in all
Yeah.
that cartel, prisons. For those who don't know, David Contreras is retired law enforcement. He worked with the cartels in Mexico. He worked with the prison gangs in California. So you guys can go check out that channel, man. And really, really good stuff, man. Hey, man, what a fight we have for tomorrow.
Oh,
It's gonna
can't
be
wait,
great, man.
Yeah.
This is you know, for everybody who complains, man, this is one where I just there's no need to complain, man. I love it. Even with the whole AJ fight, this is good stuff, man. But that is one, Mr. David Contreras, Cholo Trucker. By
God
the
bless you
way,
guys.
saludos to our man Mikey. He's a little bit sick, but he should be back on next week. Shout outs to all the chingonas and chingonas. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing it so we can come back and do it again. Till then, we'll see. Catch you guys on the next round.
Take it easy, Cholo.